Guys, welcome back. This is going to be a quick pick a pile reading for the upcoming new moon, which is tomorrow, I believe, the new moon in Taurus. So it's a time when your manifestations are actually sprouting into reality, and I just wanted to get some more information about that. So we have two piles. They're pendulums. Pile 1 is this amethyst pendulum. And pile 2, I'm pretty sure this is tourmaline, maybe obsidian, I can't remember. But it's a little bit broken on the tip, still works. So yeah, those are the two piles. They're kind of hard to see. Pile 1 or pile 2. So we're gonna start with pile 1. What is sprouting for you during this new moon? Let's see. I'm also sensing that this pile, you could be doing a lot more shopping lately, or maybe you've been wanting to buy things, but you've been waiting because maybe at that time you're like, no, I don't have the money right now, but I know I will soon. And you could just be in this energy of like having got rid of your stuff for spring cleaning and now wanting to get new things, like clearing out the old and now ready to replace with new clothes, new furniture, whatever it is. So for pile 1, you're gonna be receiving clarity in the form of just how you feel. So your thoughts will be clearer, your mind will be clearer when you're trying to make a decision or weigh different options. It will be clear to you. It's like you have the information now, or you'll feel like your brain is turned on and it wasn't before. Or it's like you were trying to see in the dark and now all the lights are on, something like that. But everything is just becoming a lot more clear to you, which is giving you more personal power to feel in control of your life and to feel confident in your ability to make decisions and to make choices. So I've sensed a lot of personal power, a lot of sense of accomplishment, and feeling not hyper independence where you can't accept help. It's more feeling like you can handle it and that you don't need anyone else, and you're willing to accept help, but you know that you can also handle it on your own. So you're letting go of situations or things that you felt were unfair, or maybe like that one time you realized you wasted $20 and you just couldn't let it go, and you're like, if I wouldn't have bought that, then I wouldn't have wasted that. Or it's just like these little things that were bothering or triggering to you, but now you're just like, I'm over it, I don't care anymore. It's like whatever it was that kind of kept coming up in your mind and bugging you, almost like a little fly just bothering you during your picnic, and you keep swatting it away. It's like a lizard just comes up and eats that fly for you, and now that these things aren't bothering you anymore. But the thing is because you've decided they're not worth your energy anymore. Like, you don't care. You've moved on, you've elevated, you're on to bigger and better things. So it feels like you're gonna feel like you've made it, like wherever you were trying to get to, or wherever you kept telling yourself, just keep going, you'll get there, you'll make it. It's like you've made it. And maybe this isn't the ultimate destination, but this is one of the destinations. So for example, let's say if you were going on vacation, you've already done the traveling. Let's say you were gonna be on a cruise where they stop at different places. So you're already on the cruise and you're at your first stop, you're your first destination. So now you guys stop, you get off, you explore. So it's like you've made it. Whatever it is you were trying to make it to, you've made it. You've made it to this checkpoint. And now you can celebrate that fact that you're here, that you've arrived. Also, some of you could be visiting family or visiting somewhere where people are throwing you a welcome party or welcome home, welcome back. You could also be going to graduation parties, or it could be your graduation party. Let's see, what is sprouting for pile 1? So this 5 of Swords with 4 of Cups, this feels like something that in the past, okay, so the same way I was telling you, you will be letting go of these little things that used to bother you. It's like certain things or certain challenges will come up in your experience, but you'll be seeing them from a completely different perspective. Like, for example, what you once saw as a missed opportunity or as a failure, it's coming back around and you're going to be seeing it from a different perspective. And you're like, actually, now I see how you can help. Now I see how this can fit. And so it's like everything that was once a problem is being turned into a solution for you. So it's not that the problems are necessarily leaving, it's just they're changing. So they're going to be assistance, which is better because now you have that assistance if you look at it that way. Let's see. What else for pile 1? I'm hearing that you won't have as many questions. You won't be like, why, what, how, when? Like, you won't be feeling like that. You'll just have an inner knowing, but you'll also be at peace with what you don't know yet. You won't be trying to figure it out. You'll know that in time, when you're meant to know, you will. Let's see, what is... Okay. So I'm getting that you may feel damaged or wounded still by things that happened in the past. Even if you've moved on from them, it's like they left a wound or a scar that is still very much present in your life. And kind of like what I was talking about before, in these situations where the way you experience them, you could only experience them from that angle, but now they're going to be coming back around, and it's almost like you're going to be getting the closure. And when I'm saying closure, I'm seeing like these wounds, like if you were literally stabbed in the back, I'm seeing it sewn up, like a closure of the wound. And it's like being healed for good. So there's nothing left, there's nothing lasting. So for you, you're gonna get new opportunities to close out these things that I'm seeing them as like a splinter that you just accepted you would have to live with because you thought it was too deep to ever get out. But it's like now it's actually coming out, so it can actually heal. So your skin doesn't have to close up and heal around the splinter. You can actually have it removed and then actually heal. So you've been dreaming up this life and this reality that's sprouting. You've been manifesting it. You've been knowing what you didn't want. You've been in a lot of contrast, which caused you to dream up this space that is now sprouting for you. It's like you have so many opportunities now. Before, you maybe only had one way you could go, and you just had to keep going one foot in front of the other. But now you're having all these opportunities open up for you. And this is all areas of your life. So in your relationships, with your job, with even in little things, you're just gonna feel like you have more choices. And it's like, that's a luxury. Having a choice, having an option is a luxury. And you've made it to that level where now you can have choices and options, and you don't just always have to choose the cheapest or whatever the case may be. You actually have options now. And you could be getting more options in, like, for romantic relationships. Maybe there was just one person you were stuck on and you kind of were like, am I gonna have to settle for this person? Is this the only one for me? But now you're gonna be having a lot of options. So it's gonna help you get a better perspective, because before, if you were looking at, oh, that's my only option, you could have been making it better in your mind because you were dealing with the fact that that's all you were gonna get. But now that you have options, now you're seeing that one as like, maybe it's not that great actually. And so you have more clarity when you're making this choice. One more card. What is blooming or sprouting for you? So if you felt under pressure, under the spotlight, like people are just putting you on the spot and you've just like wanted some space, you're gonna, it's not that you're becoming invisible, but it's like people are gonna leave you alone. Like people aren't gonna be bugging you so much. People aren't gonna be so thirsty for your attention or for your like whatever. And it's not because they don't want it anymore, but it's something about your energetic boundaries have changed. So now people can't even come near you. So again, relating it to the fly that was bothering you. It's like now the flies can't even come near you. They can't even come into your vicinity to try and bug you. So there's something about you being left alone. And this is in a way that you've wanted to be left alone. It's not like you're being abandoned, but it's like in some way that you were really wanting to be left alone or wanting some space or just wanting people to back off. That's what you're going to be getting. So I was keeping these quick and short. We'll get into pile 2 now. Thank you, pile 1, for watching. Thank you to the pendulum. All right, pile 2. Let's see, what is sprouting for you this new moon? What is sprouting for you? Okay. So this feels like someone's being taken care of, but this is someone that was like a problem, not like your dear sweet grandma who needs to be taken care of. It's more like this person's been bugging you. This person's time is up, is what I heard. Spirit's like, all right, you've had enough. I'm almost seeing like before a fight how the two will like face each other, and sometimes it gets out of hand. I don't know, it's something about like the ref coming and being like, okay, that's enough. But let's see what this is about. This is someone who'd been trying to pull you out of your divine energy, out of your abundant energy, out of like, they were trying to make you think you didn't know who you were. They wanted you to be confused about who you were, about your power. And this person, Spirit was using this person. Okay, you may have been like, why is Spirit allowing this person to even be around me and be bugging me? Like, they should be gone by now. They should be out of my experience. The reason why is because Spirit was using this person, this individual, as like a tool that because they knew it would trigger you into whatever growth you were supposed to do. But it's like now this person, like whatever they were teaching you or whatever you were learning from their actions, you've learned. And now Spirit's like, okay, now they're done. Like I've used them, I've let them run their course and it was always for you. Like this person thought for a minute, they actually thought for a minute that they were winning against you or that they were in some way even, okay, these are not my words, they even thought they were worthy to compete with you. That's straight from Spirit. Spirit's like, they actually thought. And Spirit let them think that, and let them think they were getting away with things and getting one over on you. But again, Spirit was watching the whole thing and had it all under control and knew that yes, it was going to trigger you. Yes, it was going to annoy you. But what you were going to do with that was what the whole point of this was. How you were able to take that and learn from it and be like, no, I am not going to be treated like this. I am not. And that annoyance would have triggered you to make the changes you needed to make sure you never even entertain this again. But it's like whatever this person's purpose was, it's done, like in your life, and now Spirit's going to be taking them, like cutting them right off. anything that's not pure is being cut off. Anything that is not perfectly aligned to your highest good is being cut off. It can't even exist in your vicinity anymore. You're really elevating. Like I'm seeing someone moving up in life, like in all areas. It's like elevating, not just on the physical levels, but yes, too, on the physical levels, but also on an internal level where your whole world feels different because the way you go about life and the way you go about your world is different. And I feel like you've been guided away from these people or these situations that were triggering you. And the reason why you were guided away from them is because you weren't, it's like that was your way of drowning them out of your life. By not drowning, but starving them out, by starving them of your attention. So maybe you were like, well, how am I going to fix this? And Spirit's like, don't think about it. And you're like, well, it's happening and I want it to stop. And they're like, don't think about it. And you're like, but, and they're like, don't think about it. Think about what? It doesn't even exist. And you're like, okay, whatever. I'll focus on other things. And you kept doing that. And this thing literally can't thrive without your focus on it. And when you're no longer focused on it, like that's Spirit's way of phasing it out of your life. Because it was already done, and Spirit was like, all right, now you need to stop giving your attention to it so it can be cut off from you. And you did that, even though you didn't know exactly why, but it's like you had this inner knowing that you just had to get it out of your mind. Stop thinking about it, stop dwelling on it, just let it go, and it would literally have to leave your life without your attention and focus on it. So it's like a sense of relief coming, because this is what you've been waiting for. This is what you knew was coming, but maybe for some time you thought maybe it's not happening because it was taking so long, but it's because you had to be built into this perfect warrior, this perfect like specimen, I heard, but it's like it was all necessary for your training. But now that that part's over, this person or thing is not relevant to your life anymore, and Spirit is taking them out of your life. So yeah, it's like that feeling of, oh, I knew this was gonna happen, but maybe along the way you kind of doubted it, but now you're gonna be like, yeah, I knew this was this was inevitable. And it's like getting back to your truth, getting back to what you know about this situation. And I get that you've had to be more strict or hard than your nature because of this situation. This wasn't something you could love and, heal that way. This is something you have to know. This is another thing it taught you. The difference between a situation that needs your love and will thrive in it and a situation that needs you to love yourself more than it, because trying to love it will not help you in any way. So knowing the difference between a situation you need to give love to or take away your energy from, and love yourself instead. So yeah, you're gonna be getting this sense of like, I was right all along. Yep, I knew it all along. I may have doubted for a minute, but I still knew. Even in my doubts, I always knew. It's like that feeling. Like that feeling is gonna get physical confirmation that yes, you were right. You are right. You do know. You do get what's going on. You do understand. You were never confused. You always knew. The situation was confusing, but your understanding wasn't. So if you felt confused, it's just because there was a confusing situation. It wasn't because you were receiving the wrong information. And you're just gonna get this relief, like you didn't want to think about this anymore. You didn't want to give it any more of your energy. You just felt like you had to because it was still such a relevant part of your life. But now you're like, I no longer have to give to this thing that I don't care about anymore. And it's like this great feeling that Spirit is doing the work to take this away. You don't have to get it out of your life. It's leaving on its own. And now you can finally focus on what you want to focus on. Give your energy towards what you want. So that's what I'm getting for you, pile 2. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.